Isn't that cool? That was the starting screen. I deliberately left that in. See you in a couple seconds. Last time I recorded this game, I tried to make my run as easy as it is possible by choosing the strongest character. And that didn't work, so I thought, what if I chose the weakest character and deliberately made it as difficult for myself as is possible by cursing myself to level 9 immediately. And of course by running on a computer that cannot handle the softwares that I have opened. Now I will have so many different things to blame when things go wrong. Of course, the chiefest of them all is the fact that I need to be talking to you, and so I can even blame you. This could be trouble. In case you don't know, these enemies, who are quite apparently more difficult to deal with, are a result of my deliberately cursing of myself. Then again, if you are a veteran of this game, you know that my choice of character and the selection of this particular run is not arbitrary, because even though I said that I'm going to make this run as difficult for myself as is possible, I have chosen a character who is actually rather resistant to the effects of curse, because my character, even though has a very poor ability to recover its health, has the ability to resist cursed damage. So if I am using any other character who has red hearts, then the cursed enemies will do twice the normal damage to them. But for the robot, that is not the case, because the robot does not have red hearts and armor only. In case you don't know, armor are resistant to double damage. However, it's not like ordinary characters cannot use armor. And that is our first damage of this run. I feel like on any other run I would have taken that damage even earlier, so maybe that's an improvement. Also, from the decisiveness of my choice, you can tell that this is not the first time I have done a run like this. A pattern that I noticed is that when I am deliberately playing on these settings, I seem to actually perform better as a player of this game. I can only attribute that to the fact that I might be more focused when the stakes are higher. However, if I were really strategizing, I would have been paying attention to where the other enemies were when I was dealing with that particular one. So I might be making a fool out of myself. Also, as arrogant as I might be, I am rather certain that I will not get past maybe level 3 on this run, especially given the fact that we have already taken 2 hits, even before we have seen our boss on the first floor. not the best use of this item, but at least I am causing a slowdown on my computer and therefore giving myself a little more time to react. I don't like this weapon, but I am going to buy it because I believe it might deal significant damage to the boss. Out of the spirit of experimentation, I am going to buy this item and use it on any chest below B tier on this run. That was dangerous. I don't know it would explode when that happens. I might have committed a mistake in the way I evaded that attack, but I am not punished for it yet, so I will check that up as providence. I cannot believe I'm trying to figure out what kind of emotion I was experiencing right at that moment. First of all, I was very much surprised because this chest appears so infrequently that I forgot what it was for a moment. And then I saw the fact that it has a fuse on it. By the way, I cannot take this weapon because if I do, my level of curse will be reaching 10 and bad things will happen to me. Also, this particular item is completely useless for the robot because it regenerates red heart, and I do not have any red heart for it to regenerate. This is only the second time that I have ever opened a rainbow chest, and I am already afraid that it might be the most disappointing rainbow chest I have ever opened, considering the fact that most of its loot are in the form of weapons. But I guess I shouldn't be complaining about a good thing. Also, this is prototype railgun. Still pretty good, but not as good as the complete version of this project. That was a very confusing way to refer to a piece of the game's lore. I hope the person who edits the video will include a dissertation-length explanation for what I just said. Uh-oh, no more blanks. I still took damage anyways. But since we received an armor as the reward for beating that boss, I'm just going to count myself as lucky. Alright. Can you imagine how disappointing it will be when I lose this run? Also, if I am looking for other things to complain about, my familiar is actually not very strong. It is also either S tier or A tier. And the way the mechanic in this game works makes it so that less A tier and S tier chests will appear as a result. In other words, I have received an item that lowered my odds of getting better items in the future. And that item is not good enough on its own to completely compensate for that opportunity cost. Not to mention the inherent opportunity cost of receiving a mediocre item from a rainbow chest. That rainbow chest right there may very well be the last one that I ever receive in the course of my entire life. I would rather take damage than to be cursed by that pot, because it will mean despair. I'm sure that at some point during this run, I will forget the fact that I have level 9 curse and pick up something that will push me over the threshold and reveal to you what would really happen when you push your curse level over 9. I need to be paying more attention. Otherwise the foretold disappointment is going to come much more quickly. Thank God that explosive barrel didn't explode. I will not be using this thing right away. That is a mimic and a half. Thankfully it's not a cursed mimic. It's a bad idea to be running away from bullets when you are moving in the direction of a explosive barrel, but I don't know any better. Maybe I'm wrong, but it appears that the reason with which my familiar justifies its own existence as an A tier weapon, or should I say A tier item, is the fact that it seems to deal more damage than another item very similar to itself. Then again, doesn't change the fact that I am trash at this game and will likely die in the next room or so. Don't go that way. Wait a second, where are the chests that I teleported from last floor? Is that random now? I'm confused because when I was using the chest teleporter before, the item transferred your chests to either the beginning of a level or right before the entrance to the boss fight, so I'm not sure what's going on. Given that I have not seen it in either location. I will take on this challenge because I have plenty of money. So about time to switch to a different weapon. That was easy enough. I'm not sure how good of a use I can get out of this one. I will consider putting this new weapon, into the gun launcher, even though it's not bad. Again, if you don't understand what I'm doing, I am rearranging the order of my weapons to a more intuitive configuration. Almost took contact sandwich there. Surprisingly difficult sentence to say. At least for me. That would be the other thing you notice with my Let's Plays. Namely the fact that I am occasionally inarticulate. I think the railgun still have sufficient ammunition to defeat the next boss, so I am going to reload this weapon. Okay. I hope the chest from last floor hasn't simply vanished from this universe. What is going on? The boss is jammed. Of course, I am at level 9 curse. I might be out of my mind, but I think that jammed bosses are easier to dodge. Also, my frame rate is in hell right now. So if that happens to your video, that is my computer, not yours. Wasn't at all bad of a boss fight. Okay, I guess my chest straight up vanished from this plane of existence. That is a little upsetting. I think, despite the fact that I just reloaded the AK-47, this weapon is obsolete. And I'm going to throw away that particular weapon as well, since I don't see myself using it. And you know, the weapon they gave me would regularly, or should I say ordinarily, be a pretty good choice, but I think in this situation it's just the game's siren song pulling me into despair. I'm still a little perturbed that my chest that I teleported straight up disappeared from the game. On the positive side, the room clearer that I'm using, I'm not sure if that weapon, that chest, was the re-entry of that weapon into this plane of existence, but I'm going to think of it like that so as to appease my displeasure. That makes me sound like a bad person, but maybe that is accurate. A little nervous if you don't mind. I think that last chest drop might have been the result of Ring of Chest Friendship, but I honestly shouldn't be worrying about that kind of things. The weapon we just received is pretty good. However, it is also quite dangerous, because it will make me feel like getting near to my enemies would be a good idea. Uh-oh. Can't break the habit of double-clicking with this weapon. Would have been funny if this were the doctors, who will not be able to heal the robot. That was a very dangerous thing to do. Also, the word dangerous is of course one of my favorite words. I should have foreseen that. Not a mimic. I'm going to give Chest Teleporter another chance. Maybe one more. Okay. Let us see what this is. Not bad, but I don't think I will be using that for any incoming battle. Don't be jammed. It doesn't appear jammed, but it is still pretty bad. If I can survive this boss fight, then I would have beaten my personal record for how far I got on this cursed runs. Sorry if I'm not talking too much. And sorry if my mouse movement is a little jittery. Okay, not bad. Could have been way worse. And it even gave me 2 armor as boss reward. Although the other reward is not really useful. I think this is the second chest we teleported into the next floor, so I hope I will be seeing that number of chests there. There is one at least, and it is essentially useless. I also desperately need some ammunition. Makes it extra unfortunate that I missed with one of those shots. Well, I guess careful what you wish for. Even though I intentionally delayed my firing of the weapon, I still missed with a shot there. I wish these projectiles would go through cover, but maybe that is a little greedy. I'm going to try to teleport this one as well. May be foolish of me, considering that there may be some rather useful items in a D tier chest, such as Potion of Blood Skin. I also very much enjoyed the fact that I can essentially negate the cursed enemies' special bonuses with transmogrification. I'm not sure if that's a real word or a made up one, but that's what this game calls turning enemies into animals. Almost forgot that my shots also cause electric effect in water. Easy to forget on a run like this, I suppose. What I'm doing is probably profoundly foolish, but that's what I am going to be doing right now. Needless to say. Okay. Well deserved reload there. I cannot believe I evaded damage in that situation. That is also acceptable. I'm not sure if I'm hitting the walls very frequently I should say, but it sure feels that way. Another thing to complain about this game is the fact that sometimes your projectiles are so large that they hit walls before they hit your enemies. I don't think I will teleport this one, and that is a pretty good choice, I think. just let my little minion do the work. Never mind. It is incompetent. I realize that I probably sound very much like a ungrateful, demanding, entitled person. Maybe it's exposing my true nature, this video. Also the fact that I am completely incapable of forming grammatically sensible sentences. Someone I know used to say that there are certain things that if you are not good at will lead people into thinking that you are a generally unintelligent or incompetent person. For example, if you are bad at the subject of math, then people tend to think that you are a unintelligent person, whereas you might excel at some other subject and they will simply not notice. Also, the reverse seems also to be true, in that if you are what I'm trying to say. I completely forgot what I was trying to say, but I suppose it doesn't matter because it's just more personal opinions that doesn't really hold any weight and has no utility beyond to feel that air, as they say. Basically, I was just stalling for time before something interesting gameplay-wise happened that I can talk about. I'm not sure if I want to open this gate. Well, I have tons of money, so I should have anticipated the fact that there may be nothing interesting in the shop, but at least we had our key back for a negligible price. Let me try and see how I may deal with this situation. The solution for that was wait until my very much appropriate weapon carries me to victory. I think it's beyond denial that I have been completely carried by my items on this run. So much for complaining about the rainbow chest not giving me better items. That is totally a mimic. Uh-oh, is it jammed? No, I don't think so. But for the sake of safety, I am still going to stay away. I cannot believe that it is this weapon. Also, I am not sure why the charge on my chest teleporter just dropped down to a rather low level, and I remembered that I should be trying to teleport this chest. Let's see what we have here. Isn't that funny? Hey, here's a chest. I'm going to do something silly and wait to see if I can find 3 keys from the boss fight. Also, I know the other item available in the key shop gives you infinite keys, but I cannot do that because the item is cursed. And you can see how much I am having trouble already from 9 levels of curse. That was a damage that I should not have taken. At least Railgun Prototype completely hard counters this boss. That was extremely foolish, and I am finally punished for my mistake. Also, my reflex has apparently lengthened to 1,000,000 years. There is a key, and we have another incredibly powerful weapon. I would be so surprised if I win on this run. Where is the chest? There it is. It may be because the fact that this chest is not locked, and that is why the game is having trouble realizing that it's something that it needs to send to the next floor. And we have a weapon that is mostly dedicated to theft, which we cannot do on this run because theft will cause curse level increase. Completely useless secret room, but considering the number of good things that's happened on this run, I will not explicate my complaint. The game is getting real laggy. Okay, I don't want to be in this room anymore. I am really falling in love with this weapon. Still dealing incredible amounts of damage, not to mention its special bonus against cursed enemies in the fact that it completely bypasses their immense HP. When it transmogrifies the enemy, at least. Also, its base damage is nothing to underestimate. That sentence made no sense, but you understood. Because you are wonderful and intelligent. No, you can never admit the fact that you never understood what I was trying to say, because if you did, you will be unable to merit my compliment of your intelligence. Okay, the last time I was in this room, I had my butt handed to me, And that apparently is going to reenact. I will be so angry if I die on this room. Just no. Uh-oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Well, if I die anytime soon, it will still be as far as I ever went on any recorded Let's Plays. Obviously, I have beaten the game in all possible manners before, but that is meaningless to you. It is the cursed shop. I really want Elder Blank, but I cannot do that. It would be the death of me. The membrane is not bad as a weapon, but I don't think it is stronger than what I have at the moment. This means nothing to me, and I can't even buy it. Let's see what we have here. Should be easy enough. Stout bullet might do me in here, but without it, I probably wouldn't be alive on this floor. After I read a certain book, I can't stop myself from associating carnival music from supernatural evil. Hey, that's not bad. Let's see what item it contains. Pretty much useless, unfortunately. There isn't even any usable passive. Okay. At least those consumable items are borderline necessary. I will not die to that enemy. Please. I almost forgot that there is another shop on this floor. Okay, so I guess it's inevitable that I need to confront one of these cursed rooms, or should I say trap rooms. They're not cursed inherently, but might as well to me since I can never get through them without major difficulties. As you can tell, my breath was shortened right there. I will try and see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have something that allows me to unlock all chests. How silly of me. No. Thank you, robot that I insulted earlier. That is great. I like that item a lot. Okay, trap room number 2. That's not so bad. I was so ready that the moment I said that was not so bad for the trap room to hit me right in the face with some kind of hidden trap. Don't let that happen. You can tell that I'm nervous because I'm giving myself imperatives. Uh-oh. Don't let that enemy be able to fully extend its arm and purge this thing from this world. At last. Okay. No weirdo attack. Thank you. And perfectly timed ammunition supply. That enemy straight up materialized from the background. No more blanks, remind myself. Okay, this is what my commentary is devolving into. I love it. For a moment I thought this is some kind of trap room. It might as well be since I took damage. Oh no. Not two enemies like you. Have I seen the boss fight? I might be losing my mind. Okay. It might be a honest thing to do, but I think I will just let my little robot minion to eliminate all these threats. Another essentially theft item, I have no need for that. Well, I suppose it can be used in combat, and I probably have no more use of the chest teleporter. Please be able to aim again. Not a item that I would be using. Thank God it killed the dangerous enemy. This dude is so fast. Uh-oh. Thank you. What hit me? I have no idea what happened there. I'm guessing what happened is the fact that I shot such a huge projectile from my weapon that got caught in that red mage's magic circle, and that became an enemy projectile, which instantly hit me because the projectile size was so huge. It's still my own fault to get so close and be shooting at that enemy who was still firing, or should I say who was using its magic, but it still feels like a little unfair of a loss. Alright, goodbye.